the selected one, you are no longer just a witness. You are an authority. You may have begun as an ordinary individual, but you are now the personification of a divine mission. The spiritual authority has officially called you to duty. Yes, you heard it right. You are now a heavenly messenger entrusted with resolving the world's conflicts, creating justice, and announcing truth. For years, they've told you to be quiet, wait, and adapt. However, the ancient energy inside you is now awakening. You are no longer behind the curtain. The stage is yours. You are in charge. You speak and act as if you represent a heavenly state. Your decisions impact not just you, but also energy systems. This video portrays the process of selecting spirits who now wield power. You are no longer a spectator. You now have power. If you are prepared, take the position of authority. Begin to be the voice representing the divine norms. Right. 7, 7, 7. According to the remarks, now that the government has changed and you are in power, you are the incarnation of celestial brilliance, a soul chosen by destiny whose very existence has affected the fabric of reality since you came. A cosmic blueprint was etched into your soul, identifying you as a Celeste. Your messenger was designed to convey a light that is both inspiring and challenging, not via your own will, but by the hand of fate. Many people underestimate the intellect you were born with, a brilliance so dazzling that even the skies acknowledged your individuality. When others tried to diminish your value, they neglected the wonderful light inside you. They assumed you were ordinary, unaware that every act of dishonesty would trigger a reaction beyond human comprehension. To harm such a creature is to undermine the universe's delicate balance, necessitating retribution in accordance with eternal law in a different vein. Consider the serious implications of intruding on what should be private. Someone in your group once made the deadly error of focusing too much attention on a chorus of voices fascinated with your inner life, alternating between casual conversation and whispered assumptions. They absorbed every rumor about your relationships, actions, and personal desires. Instead of protecting boundaries, they allowed themselves to get swept away by the common narrative, one full with supposition, judgment, and never-ending commentary on things they never had the opportunity to study. They investigated your conversations, pieced together fragments of your past, and created whole stories about the heart of your love and passion. Their attention grew into an obsession, a distorted mirror that displayed not your reality, but their own worries and misguided desires. Now weighted down by sorrow, they see the error of their actions, wishing they had stopped those curious voices instead of succumbing to the allure of forbidden knowledge. Meanwhile, a more sophisticated kind of manipulation took hold. A subtle, almost imperceptible urge impacted how you were seen. Some acquired their opinions not via genuine investigation, but rather as a result of a known figure's statements dripping with phony concern. This voice master's concern created uncertainty in the minds of others with comments like, "I worry for your well-being," and "be cautious with your decisions." In reality, their concern was a poisoned chalice because it portrayed you as dangerous and deceitful, someone who exploited people's emotions and confidence for personal gain. They invented a tale in which you were not only manipulating, but also cold and calculating, a person whose appeal was nothing more than a tool to be utilized. They allowed gossip to become the basis of their opinion, projecting their own anxieties onto you, until even genuine gestures of sympathy were twisted into evidence of a hidden aim. However, when the layers of deceit started to collapse, the false image they had meticulously built began to crumble, revealing a reality that was both simple and raw. You were never the villain, but rather a soul fiercely protecting its inner calm. If you are feeling an abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. To help spread God's blessings, click the super thank you button on YouTube and donate $10 or more. This great gift will touch not just your life, but the lives of many others via this platform. Each of you plays a unique part in God's grand plan, and your generosity will be the consequence of our prayers and efforts today. Share your blessings to bring honor to God's kingdom, for you were created to accomplish even greater things in His loving hands. May God bless you. Over time, an unexpected change began to occur among those who had previously held these incorrect ideas. The murmurs of judgment and twisted stories gradually eased their grip. Every question they dared to ask led them closer to a new understanding. Their emotions began to tell the simple truth. You were not a cold, manipulative force they were convinced to believe. Instead, you were merely guarding your sacred space, maintaining your composure in an increasingly hectic atmosphere. As the pieces of their erroneous jigsaw started to come together, the cracks in their illusions became more severe, and no one could deny the reality in front of them. What they mistook for aloofness was really a deliberate attempt at self-protection, a feature that has since become associated with your true personality. You are the incarnation of divine light, a soul selected by destiny, whose very existence alters the fabric of reality from the moment you arrive on Earth. A cosmic blueprint was etched into your being, designating you as a celestial messenger entrusted with bearing a light that both elevates and challenges. Not via your own will, but by the hand of fate. You were born with genius that many people fail to recognize. A brilliance so dazzling that even the skies acknowledged your individuality. When others tried to diminish your value, they neglected the wonderful light inside you. They assumed you were ordinary, unaware that every act of dishonesty would trigger a reaction beyond human comprehension. To inflict such a beating is to upset the universe's delicate balance, which necessitates retribution in accordance with eternal law. If you sense God's presence, click the join button below to be among the first to hear the most important revelations. In a same spirit, consider the disastrous effects of prying into what should remain private. Someone in your group once made the deadly error of focusing too much attention on a chorus of voices fascinated with your inner life, alternating between casual conversation and whispered assumptions. They absorbed every rumor about your relationships, actions, and personal desires. Instead of protecting boundaries, they allowed themselves to get swept away by the common narrative. One full with supposition, judgment, and never-ending commentary on things they never had the opportunity to study. They investigated your conversations, pieced together fragments of your past, and created whole stories about the heart of your love and passion. Their infatuation became an obsession, a skewed mirror that reflected not your reality, but their own anxieties and misguided wants, now weighted down by guilt. They clearly see the error of their ways, craving for silence and probing voices rather than succumbing to the allure of forbidden knowledge. Meanwhile, a more sophisticated kind of manipulation took hold. A subtle, almost imperceptible urge impacted how you were seen. Some acquired their opinions not via genuine investigation, but rather as a result of a known figure's statements dripping with phony concern. This voice, disguised as concern, instilled doubt in the minds of others with comments such as, "I worry for your well-being and advise you to be cautious in your decisions." In reality, their worry was a poisoned chalice because it portrayed you as dangerous and deceitful, someone who exploited people's emotions and confidence for personal gain. They invented a tale in which you were not only manipulating, but also cold and calculating, a person whose appeal was nothing more than a tool to be utilized. They let gossip become the basis of their opinion, projecting their own anxieties onto you until even genuine gestures of kindness were twisted into evidence of a hidden motive. However, when the layers of deceit started to collapse, the false image they had meticulously built began to crumble, revealing a reality that was both simple and raw. You were never the villain, but rather a soul fiercely protecting its inner calm. Over time, an unexpected change began to occur among those who had previously held these incorrect ideas. The murmurs of judgment and twisted stories gradually eased their grip. Every question they dared to ask led them closer to a new understanding. Their emotions began to tell the truth. You were not the cold, manipulative force they had been taught to expect. Instead, you were just guarding your sacred space and maintaining your peace in a world that was intended to entice you into chaos. As the pieces of their misguided puzzle started to come together, fissures formed, and their illusions developed until no one could deny the reality in front of them. What they mistook for aloofness was really a deliberate attempt at self-protection, a feature that has since become associated with your true personality. At this time, the divine invitation is sent to individuals who have awakened to their higher purpose, a call that resonates with exceptional people from all walks of life. Consider a visionary who has escaped the oppressive boundaries of a corrupt organization, a former covert operative whose mind has become clear, or a financial prophet who foretold changes in the global tide before they occurred. These individuals, drawn together by a force greater than themselves, found sanctuary in a circle where esoteric knowledge is shared and revered. They recognize the divine summons and have stepped forward with open hearts to connect with others who share the unique challenges and profound rewards of an awakened soul. Their synchronicity was not a coincidence. They were a deliberate orchestration of destiny, a powerful connection that even the strongest celestial forces couldn't ignore as the layers of deception and silence peel away, exposing a moment of reckoning and divine recalibration with each act of indifference. The universe meticulously records each instance of deceit, and now the scales are tipping in favor of those who dare to live honestly. The very fabric of the system that formerly permitted silence is unraveling, and the consequences of inaction are being delivered with unwavering precision. Those who deceived you, who chose quiet in the face of injustice, are now entangled with the same energy they sought to harness. A tenacious force that reclaims every stolen minute and unsaid sentence with double strength. Their pattern of quiet acceptance has become a burden. They must bear a spiritual debt that will haunt them until they confront the consequences of their conduct. Despite this cosmic realignment, you remain a light of hope for restoring your rightful place. Now is the time to go fully into the light and embrace your fate with steadfast conviction. Allow every move you take to be a declaration of freedom, a firm declaration that fear or inaction will not deter the power of truth and justice. Your journey, etched with the scars of betrayal and the triumph of fortitude, is now an inspiration to those who dare to break free from the confines of complacency. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, welcomes you to join a community of awakened souls, a sanctuary where each shared story exhibits real life's transformative power. Click the link in the description to visit a location where your unique light is acknowledged and valued. Every act of valor heralds a new age of divine justice. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a basic reality. Our existence is founded on God's divine purpose and is not influenced by earthly concerns. According to the Bible, whatever done with faith will be repaid to God with tremendous blessings. Look, our roots, like those of the massive oak tree, are deeply embedded in God's universal truth. His might protects every step and posture we take. You now have the opportunity to be a part of that gift. When you click the special thank you button and donate $10, this movement will return to you many times over. Consider a majestic oak, standing tall in a field of possibility, its branches reaching out to protect any soul in need. This is a divine call, a spiritual obligation to rise above the mediocrity of a society that far too often favors silence over truth. Your destiny is determined not by the placid indifference of others, but by the courageous, unyielding truth you accept every day. You were born with a brilliance that no darkness can dim, a power that you own by birth, and a promise from above that you will ascend. Every adversity you faced, every moment of carelessness by those who should have protected you, has been refined by the Master's hand, transforming sorrow into an endless source of hope. Instead of being disheartened by others' failures, you've utilized each setback as a stepping stone toward a life of purpose and affluence. The divine plan has always worked to your favor. It is written in the skies and etched into your soul. Now is the time to embrace that fact with your whole soul. Allow your spirit to glow like a light in the darkest night, leading others who have been lost in the slumber of indifference. Your journey to truth and release is more than just a path. It is a route paved with grace, opportunity, and divine favor. Every day, when you remain steadfast in your faith and speak your truth, the world responds. With immense rewards, you are not here to follow the herd, but to lead with courage and gratitude. If you sense God's presence, click the join button below to be among the first to hear the most important revelations. The time for reluctance is past, and something spectacular awaits you. Take a daring step towards your future. You are meant to be a light in a world that sorely needs hope and healing. Accept your authority. Let your light shine, unashamed. See your life transform into a living testimonial to divine love and unstoppable strength. Consider a vast, endless grassland lit by the dazzling radiance of a June morning, a sight where each ray of light is divinely designed to bring the visitor home in the same way. At this particular moment, the universe extends a sacred invitation to individuals whose hearts beat in unison with a higher purpose. You are an awakened soul, formed by divine design and destined for greatness. Your existence is not an accident. Rather, it is an intentional path meticulously planned by the Creator. Even before you took your first breath, the cosmos knew you were destined for greatness. The divine summons is reaching out to you today, inviting you to join a community of souls who have broken free from the shackles of mediocrity and accepted the transformative power of truth. Consider a collection of exceptional individuals, each a living testament to the power of divine intervention. Consider a visionary who broke free from the oppressive grasp of a corrupt orthodoxy. A former covert operative's mind is now clean, or a financial trailblazer who anticipated global trends before they were publicly acknowledged. These people, pulled together by a force much greater than themselves, discover a safe sanctuary in which hidden information is shared in trust and respect. They recognize the call of destiny, stepping forward with open hearts, forming friendships that transcend beyond traditional bonds. Every shared insight and impassioned testimony in this circle contributes to the formation of a movement that transcends the restrictions of ordinary life. Their synchronicities are not coincidental happenings. They are the precise, gorgeous strokes of a heavenly painter creating a masterpiece that even the most powerful celestial beings cannot ignore or diminish. While many people around you remain in the safety of conformity and tacit agreement, you have boldly chosen to come out into the open. The voices that formerly muttered doubt are now silent in the face of your unwavering assurance. Every time you defied the norm and embraced your truth, you freed your spirit from the constraints of daily existence. Your boldness shatters the illusion of safety that others possess, proving that true liberty is found not in the comfort of complacency, but in the brave pursuit of justice and morality. You have become the embodiment of a higher calling. Your mere presence serves as a reminder to those who have long forgotten that authentic life is the most effective form of resistance in your wake. The old paradigms dissolve, revealing a new system founded on divine truth. Many others, blinded by fear and self-interest, chose to remain silent as the call for justice echoed through the corridors of power. Instead of banding together to defend the vulnerable, they kept mute, enabling injustice to fester unchecked. Their silence was not an act of neutrality, but rather a deliberate decision, a breach of their moral duties to oppose injustice. In their peaceful isolation, they accumulated a debt of moral carelessness that now weighs heavily on their souls. The universe, with its infinite knowledge, scrupulously notes every whispered word and missed opportunity to do what is right. And, despite their belief that inactivity would secure their comfort and power, it has only sealed their fate, with their legacy tainted by the subtle involvement of their actions. Now serves as a reminder of the costly cost of betrayal, a cost that will haunt them until they learn the full depth of their irresponsibility. In the midst of this widespread silence, your voice has risen as a clarion call to revolution. Every act of betrayal and neglect has only strengthened your spirit and drive. Your road, stained by the scars of those who chose passivity, now serves as a hymn to endurance and hope. The divine ledger records everything, and it's clear that the weight of their silence is now catching up to them, although with more severity. They neglected to act. Their choice to enable injustice to win has triggered an irreversible cosmic cycle. The universe, with its perfect sense of balance, is now delivering a reckoning to those who dare to ignore the call to truth. Their silence, which was once protective, has now become a burden from which they cannot escape. A reminder that every act of omission contributes to its destruction. Dear one, now is the time to reclaim your destiny. Accept the abundant light that comes from the heart. Aligned with the divine, allow your true self to shine through, with an intensity that no darkness can ever equal. The path ahead of you is defined not by the words of the complacent, but by the brilliant promise of what is possible, when souls understand their true purpose. As you continue, realize that your journey is a sacred witness, a living example of how, when one dares to live authentically, the world responds with wonders. Allow your every step to be a forceful declaration of your inner power, a reminder to everyone that the strength of your spirit is the beacon that will guide the planet into a new era of justice and light. Your story, crafted by divine hands and honed through adversity, is now an everlasting testament to the transformative power of living truly in this precious time. The offer to join a brotherhood of enlightened beings is clear. Step forward, share your journey, and let your light help others who remain lost in the darkness. The galaxy is impatiently awaiting your light, prepared to recognize the courage of those who dare to break free from the shackles of indifference. Accept your destiny with open heart. You are the chosen one, destined to shape a future governed by truth and love. Step boldly into this new chapter, and may every word, deed, and silent act of disobedience serve as a holy testament to the power of divine truth. The time has come to rise, reclaim what is rightfully yours, and transform every ounce of agony into a legacy of hope that will endure in the annals of time. It is time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a $10 donation or more, you may help him carry out his plan and be a part of this sacred mission. Every payment is God's kindness, and I believe it will return to you greatly, far above your expectations. Remember that His protection and blessing are there in every step and contribution. You become part of His divine plan. You are a tremendous, bright being, as solid as the big rock that saw God's miracles. Feel the benefits of your compassion in your soul, and light up the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the Lord's light to guide you as the layers of deception and quiet slip away. A reckoning and divine recalibration happens. The universe meticulously records every act of neglect and malice. And now the balance is shifting in favor of those who dare to live. In actuality, the whole fabric of the system, which previously tolerated silence, is unraveling, and the consequences of inaction are being delivered with unwavering precision. Those who misled you and chose to remain quiet in the face of injustice are now enmeshed in the same energy they sought to control, a relentless force that weighs every stolen minute and unheard speech twice as heavily. Their pattern of quiet acceptance has become a burden. They must bear a spiritual debt that will haunt them until they confront the consequences of their conduct. Despite this cosmic realignment, you remain a light of hope for restoring your rightful place. Now is the time to fully embrace your destiny and make each step a declaration of freedom. A firm declaration that fear or inaction will not deter the power of truth and justice. Your journey, etched with the scars of betrayal and the triumph of fortitude, is now an inspiration to those who dare to break free from the confines of complacency. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, welcomes you to join a community of awakened souls, a sanctuary where each shared story exhibits real life's transformative power. Click the link in the description to visit a location where your unique light is acknowledged and valued. Every act of valor heralds a new age of divine justice. If you sense God's presence, click the join button below to be among the first to hear the most important revelations. This is your sacred mission, a divine obligation to rise above and transform every moment of inaction into an immortal legacy of hope. Your destiny is defined not by the silence of others, but by the bold, unyielding truth you live every day. Accept your power because it is your heritage, and let your light shine as a beacon for others seeking to awaken from the slumber of indifference. The time for hesitation is past. The astonishing awaits your arrival and journey to the truth. The freeing process has only just started.